Take two. So today we're going to be talking about anger and conflict. And we're talking about it in such a way from the emotion, but also from the experience. And I say conflict because it's something that we experience every single day, you know, at any given point in our lives or our day. And how we approach that, especially when we're angry, says a lot about who we are and where we're at in life.
Right. I feel like when it comes to conflict and anger, I had a first-hand approach when it came to anger. I grew up with anger issues because, again, like I mentioned earlier in our first take, is I was raised by a woman, and in doing that, you know, I had to figure things out on my own along the way, and that caused me to have a lot of confusion and a lot of anger in my life. And I'll never blame my mom, of course, for that. She didn't know, and she didn't know any better, you know. She tried her best, but it's different when you feel like you're by yourself. You know what I mean? So what about you? What do you think? When have you experienced kind of anger and conflict?
You know, I mean, the way you mention it and the way you're talking about, like, how not having a father figure within the family, I've had both, you know, all my life. I guess you could say, a lucky one like that. But anger still built, you know, by trying to feel like you weren't enough. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Like, you kind of just felt, even though they're both there, it still feels like you're empty still. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of just, you know, because that's why when you were talking about it, I was just like, wow, why did I feel angry? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like, it feels like you have a reason, and I'm just stuck with, like, well, I was very blessed, you know what I mean? And then for me to still have a type of emptiness and building anger over something that I should have been, you know, I guess you could say happy that I had, and I still felt angered. It was just, it's a mixture of confusion that I'm 36 right now, and I'm figuring this out just by you explaining that. And I'm like, well, then why the hell was I pissed off? You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense.
Well, let's talk about that. If you don't mind, let me know a little more about the relationship you've had with your father.
You know, my father was a man of not very many words.
Okay.
He never really showed love, but you can tell it was there. You know, he was one of those that cries in silent, you know?
Oh, man, yeah.
But he was very happy. I just lost my father in December. Wow. So it hasn't been almost a year now. You know, but to be honest, I mean, he was a good character. He's
really
an amazing character. He's always hilarious, always trying to be, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, the way I am, man, I'm very, there's a sense of humor. There's a lot of perversion in me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just
You're
always
yourself. You're yourself.
But
That's
I
good.
get it from my dad.
That's
like,
good,
he's
man. That's good.
even at 80 something years old, that guy still had it with him, you know what I mean?
No
and
filter, man, no filter.
Correct. And I was just like, damn, like, because the last year he was in the freaking hospital, you know what I mean? And the dude would still be like, we would ask him, like, hey, where are you? He says, donde me agarren los huevos con manos frías. We're like,
wow, man.
Okay.
I mean, he's not wrong.
That's a beautiful thing, because he had the ability to be the light in a very dark place.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. You know, my brother just finished getting better from this whole COVID ordeal. Well, he's getting better. He's still in the process. He's trying to test negative. He got out of the hospital, had pneumonia, the whole works. And he's freaking out. And right what you were just talking about, he was talking about how much pain, the whole pneumonia and the lungs and all that crazy stuff. And he's like, dude, like, my lungs look like, what do you call it? Like a glass shower that just looks very moist, you know, like fogged. Yeah. So that's the way his lungs looked. And he's all like, dude, and it sucks. It's such uncomfortable pain. And he was all like, I'm fucking, like, remember Dad? Dad had one lung almost full of fluid, like, all the way, and then another one was almost halfway.
And he still had the energy to laugh.
And he would still light up when we would show up like that. My brother and his wife, it would all show up, and he's there, hey, or whatever. And it's like, and my brother's over here being a little bitch, you know what I mean? With that, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, and this is not me, you know, talking shit. I mean, this is my brother, you know what he's saying? And he's just like, dude, that's something, you know? And, you know, I don't know what that would feel like, but for my dad to be able to overcome, to still show a smile, you know, it's strong man, I guess you could say. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really envisioned his way of trying to let go, but you can tell when his family was around, he was alive.
He was trying to be strong for you and his family.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
That is for sure. So as far as my father, man, he, like I said, when we're growing up, it was very different, the love structure that he would give, but it was there, you know? And as he got older, he almost, like when we would have conversations, it's almost like he wanted to apologize for, you know, certain things, but it was just like, for what? Like, you're good. Like I'm, you know, we're all, you know, older already. None of us are in jail. Everybody's good. No, you know what I mean? Everybody's good. You did a freaking awesome job.
If
you know?
you could go back, you wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. You know, the whole time I've been taking care of my father for like as much as it was from what it was, you know, from him getting sick. I kind of felt like a lot of anger would have came, to be honest with you, to stay on topic. My father ended up breaking his hip at my sister's. Okay, I've taken care of him all this time, and then I wanted a little break, and I said, "Hey, sister, can you take care of Dad just for like a week, man? Like, give me a freaking break. I want to be able to do something."
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and even though we have a provider, dude, I still have to be on the provider's ass to make sure everything's okay.
That's important, man.
So of course, and so I decided to let the provider go over there, stay over there for a week, and she was going through surgery or something, and that's where he broke his hip, and that was the downfall of the whole ordeal. I feel that I would have built so much anger if it happened on my time. You get what I'm saying? When I'm taking care of him.
Like towards yourself. Is
Correct.
What you're saying.
Like I didn't take care of him well. Like what happened?
Yeah.
Accident. Yeah, it's an accident over there. It would have been an accident over here, but I feel I would have, you know, because I build anger. Because every time somebody passes away, you always end up doing this whole, I could have done this or I should have done that, and it's like, no, dude,
It's out of your control.
Yeah, you know. And but the thing is what I'm trying to say is because it happened over there, I feel a little bit at ease because I think I would have crushed myself more.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, and that's the deepest type of conflict is when you have it with yourself.
Yep.
That's hard, man. That's deep.
Correct.
That's deep, and that's very painful because it's different when you have conflict towards somebody else. There's always something like forgiveness or something like that.
Correct.
But when it's within you, it sits there. And it sits there for a while, man, and it hurts. You start, like you mentioned earlier, like suffering in silence.
Yeah.
So that's I'm very glad that you can differentiate the difference, and you brought that up on your own. You said, like, you know, had that happened on my watch, that would have been different. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are just things that, you know, it's because even to this day, even though I did everything, and I think I did everything to the best of my power to be able to take care of my father to the best of my ability, still felt like I could have done more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, hey, you know what? I did my part. You know what I'm saying? Correct.
Yeah.
You know, and to be honest with you, I actually felt relieved when he went. To be honest, like
He'd lived a full life.
yeah, he was suffering right when they put because he had a broken hip and then it wasn't healing correctly. He was walking incorrectly. It was hurting him. I just saw him in nothing but pain. And then he started getting pneumonia and he started getting, sepsis shock. He started getting all sorts of crazy shit. And he overcame sepsis and pneumonia on one occasion at like 83. And he overcame that shit.
Oh, wow. He was 83.
83, well, 84 when he passed, but 83 he did go through that. And then 84, that's when he passed. He got it again. Sepsis shock, pneumonia, the whole freaking works all over again. And, but yeah, it was just something where once they put a food peg or whatever the hell they call it, a feeding tube, once they put that shit out, it was just like,
it's different.
Like, damn, you know what I mean? And then right when it was his downfall, and then they were like, because he's what do you call it, the full code or whatever, where they do everything. And to be honest with you, like when they're like, hey, code blue, blah blah blah, and I was just like,
do not resuscitate.
Yeah, but all my brothers and sisters wanted it, so it's just like, all right, like go for it.
Yeah.
So they did everything that they could, and now it's just like it's this time. Like I had my my ex at the time, they were with me, and she was just like trying to cope with me, and I was like, he's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
It's his time.
I was like, he's gone, and then she was all like, you don't know that? I was like, nah, I do.
Yeah.
Like I know, I could just tell. Like it was
feel
just,
it. You just feel it.
yeah, and it felt relieved, but I grieved incorrectly. And
Really?
then, because it bit me in the ass like later. I started getting anxiety. I started getting panic attacks. I started getting all this crazy shit. My brother had that shit when my mom passed away 10 years ago in 2009.
Okay.
Now that this shit happened with my dad, I started getting all this shit. You know what I mean? It was just like, what the hell? So I went to
you like a truck.
psychiatrists and all that shit, and they're telling me, they're like, something happened like tragic in your time right now. Something happened, and this is the cause of it. And I'm like, well, my father passed away, and they're like, now you finally said something.
So we go back to conflict, man. You have conflict within you.
Yeah, man. And and like I stated, man, and then it's weird because again, like I tell you with this whole anger stuff, it built quite a bit when I started having anxiety. I started having like panic attacks. Dude, you start to build a rage that you can't control.
Oh yeah.
You can't control your freaking, like, because you know what anxiety is. It's basically
you're
a fear.
You're on a hairpin trigger, bro. Anything can trigger.
Yeah.
Anything can trigger.
Most
you
definitely.
get your coffee wrong, or it's too hot, too cold. You're just triggered.
It's funny you said that. My brother was talking to me just yesterday about that shit, and he says, because we call it being a TJ.
A TJ?
Todo joto. You already know I'm stupid like that. I told him that I had anxiety, and I'm like, oh, dude, I start tripping out. He's like, oh, so you get all TJ? And I'm like,
oh my God. And then,
well, see, wait, and I'm just talking shit. And then he was all like, nambe, pues I got a buddy. He can't even drink cold or like what. He has to drink room temperature water.
Wow.
Or he flips out. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's another level of
it's
TJ.
A hairpin trigger.
I was like, wow, okay. He was all like, so you're good, bro. He was like, you're good. I'm like, holy shit, I feel better. Yeah. Like it's something, but that's it's crazy. I started studying a lot about anxiety and bullshit, and it's crazy. It's all just in your mind, man. It's all
really
in your mind.
It is, but saying that doesn't help.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Because let's imagine we're having this conversation, right? And then you're telling me you're going through this anxiety. I'm like, no, man, it's in your head.
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't help.
It doesn't. No,
it doesn't help. You got to dig in there.
Yeah.
And you got to be like, well, what caused the conflict? You know what I mean? Why is it that you have this? Because I'll tell you right now, when it comes to men feel emotion too. But the strongest emotion men will ever feel, I'm confident in saying this, is anger. It just happens, yeah. And the best part about that is when a man identifies that he has an anger problem or he has that rage, which he probably does, he can use it constructive, or he can be self-destructive. Yeah,
you're right,
yeah.
And it's very easy to just self-destruct.
Yeah,
super fast. It's just so much easier.
It's a thin line, man. It's a very thin line. You're walking a trapeze. Where what are you gonna do now? You know what I mean? Are you gonna take that rage to the gym and you're gonna work it out? You know what I mean? Or are you gonna take it out on work and you're just gonna like, you know what? Today I'm gonna hustle. I don't care. They're not gonna pay me more. I'm gonna be doing overtime, but I'm gonna hustle because I want to work that rage out, right? So, and then there's those other ones that just drink their problems away, take it out on their kids, take it out on their wife. You know what I mean? Because they're walking that trapeze.
That's correct.
But I feel men. I love that we're talking about anger and conflict because men just have such a strong capacity for the emotion of just anger. You know what I mean? And if you don't have the tools in your tool chest to just figure out, am I going to do this? Am I going to be constructive with it? Or am I going to self-destruct? Nombre, olvídate, bro.
Yeah.
You're done. You're done for. Like, you're blind.
Wow. Yeah, that's something, man, to really think about it like that. 'Cause it's very easy to just go one direction and just... Yeah. That one's the easy way, but then to grab all that and use it in a positive direction, it's a different thing because it's something you want to explode. You want it, and it's like, no, dude, go this direction and work it.
Yeah.
Work it in a positive direction. It's like, nah, man, but I want to do this, and I totally get it, man. Yeah. Because, every time that I go through these types of ordeals, I try my best to, use it in a positive direction. She's been guiding me quite a bit because I've been going through quite a bit of shit. And to be honest, I mean, shit, sometimes you just want to tap out. Like, you know what? Like, fuck it. Don't call it a day.
I'm out for today.
But there's no weakness in that. There's no weakness in that, man. It just happens.
Yeah.
It just happens. You know what I mean?
I do see a lot of... I do see a lot of people look at it though as a weakness though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because some people can deal with it.
And they're afraid of that. And like the first step is you gotta admit it. You gotta admit you have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Correct.
You gotta step out and be like, I have an anger issue.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I'm gonna work it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then all the people around you very quickly is like, okay, he looks like he had a bad day. Let's not be a trigger. You know what I mean? He's trying his best to work it out. Because when you don't identify it, you're like, nah, I don't have an anger problem. And then you just slam the dishes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You clearly are blind now.
What I kind of freak out with as far as anger, I've noticed that, at least I think, that it takes a while for me to get angry. Mm-hmm. However, when I'm angry, I intend to stay there a little longer than necessary. Yeah. And it's almost like I'm reaching out for fucking attention.
Okay.
It's like, fucking hear me. I'm fucking mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like almost like a female. I was going to use a very wrong term. But it's almost like a female trying to say, get the fuck away. Yeah. But it's like, pull me. You know what I mean? And it's like, de la chingada. Y luego se va. And it's like, hey, pendeja, where you going? Like, get the fuck over here. Like, I didn't really fucking mean it, but but then they go, and then it's just like, now it's another fucking level, you know? Mm-hmm.
So I guess that makes me curious, because if your automatic reaction is, I'm angry, give me your attention, do you think that's your way of naturally trying to cope and address the issue so you're no longer angry?
It's because what I'm trying to do is get my point across.
To feel heard?
To feel heard and to feel why, you know. Mm-hmm. And then it's funny because even if you hear the right shit, it still doesn't feel enough.
Right, yeah.
If that makes any fucking sense. Like if I wanted you to say, sorry, I fucking did this, I didn't, whatever.
You're still angry. You're still slow.
And it's like, all right. And then it's stupid because I'll say some shit like, don't fucking apologize, just don't fucking do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, pues que chingados quieres? You know what I mean? So, you know, there's just a confusion as far as what the anger is. And I've talked to like psychiatrists, I've talked to like different people. They just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like it's very different of what I'm trying, like, cause it's a different kind of anger in different situations. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm going to try to get over it. But I know that I drag it more than necessary. Mm-hmm. And the way I always look at it is life is too short to be pissed off all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's fucking not worth it. You know what I'm saying? But then I don't swallow that shit. I fucking say it, but then I don't do it. And it's like, I'm the one dragging it for 2 days. And it's like, dude, get off your fucking rag and get your shit together and just, dude.
Yeah, just deal with it.
Yeah. But then it feels fake. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It fucking feels fake. Like I'm fucking angry, but I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna, you know, talk to you or do whatever. But I'm pissed.
What if there's nothing wrong with that? What if like you can have a quick burst of anger and then just turn around and be like, you know what, I'm still gonna have a good fucking day. Like what's wrong with that? I feel like
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just feel that when it's fake. It's like you already know when you take a picture of somebody smiling and they're fucking forcing that smile, and then you catch the fucker when he's really smiling, and it's like you can tell that fucker was happy and that fucker forced it.
And you can't unsee it. You can't.
Yeah. And I think it's the same shit that I call myself like I'm glass. I'm very fucking obvious with what, like you can tell I'm pissed. I take that back because my fucking ex would tell me that I fucking looked mad. And all I was trying to do is if I fucking knew somebody. Like, I fucking see a dude and I'm looking at him like, I was like, is it Roy? You know what I mean? And I'm fucking looking at him, and then my ex is like, hey, calm down. And I'm like, what? Like, what happened? I was like, I think I know. She was like, dude, you're like mad dogging him. I'm like, I'm just trying to focus on the motherfucker. You know what I mean? She's like, you look like you're trying to jump somebody, dude. And I'm like, oh, well, shit. Well, let me just go find out, you know? Like, so, yeah, man, it's something, but the whole fake shit, I don't like the fakeness, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't feel real. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to be happy, and it's like you're fucking forcing it, bro. Like it's not real. Just fucking dismiss it. And if you're gonna deal with angry, it's just like you said. It's fucking easier to just be more angry. So it's bullshit, but it's easy. Yeah, it's weird. You know, because it's an uncomfortable situation that's easy for you.
Yeah.
That's just...
I don't know that it's easy because I'm very much the kind of person, even now, when I get angry, I stay angry. And even like I will try to pull it in and control it and deal with it in a very responsible way so that nobody else gets hurt or has to deal with it because it's my issue, right? I got angry for a reason that I need to understand and overcome. But like I said, when I get angry, I will stay angry for like 24 hours. You know what I mean? And so I'll go to the gym, I'll work it out, and then I'll return to the issue and try to be more reasonable. Like earlier this week, I had ordered some equipment, and UPS was like, we were going to require a signature, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be home, so I did the like signature online.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it'll be fine. Like, I'm not going to worry about it. You know, sometimes UPS is incredibly unreliable, but my package will be here. I trust that it'll be there. And so then I finally get home. It's like 8:30 at night, and I check on my package, and it says, it's been delivered. And I look at my door, and there's no package.
Oh, shit.
And so I was like, you know what? They probably left it at my neighbor's place.
In the front.
So I go to my neighbor's. I'm like knocking on the door, and nobody answers, right? And I see like there's a car there, all the lights are on. At this point in my mind, I'm like, you have my package, and you're choosing not to answer the door because you know that it's mine in my mind, right? So I knock a couple more times. I'm livid at this point, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my place. I'm gonna write a note. I'm gonna leave it on their door, and then if they want to come drop it off, then they can. If not, I'm gonna have to go through this whole process. Reorder the equipment. I don't want to have to do it, but it's, you know, it is what it is. I wrote this like note.
This essay.
I left it on their door. It's 10:30 at night. I'm getting ready to, like, you know, I'm in bed already in my pajamas, and I hear a knock on my door. I'm like, okay. So I come to the door, and it's both of my neighbors, husband and wife, and they have my package with the note attached.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, the neighbors like across down the street actually had your package. We didn't have your package, so here it is. And I was thinking like, okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. The point is, you got your package.
I got my package, but I was so mad.
Wow.
I was like, I was the ghetto in me was gonna come out and be like,
Salió la mexicana.
I was like, we're gonna throw down. You know what I mean? For this, because like in my mind, I was like, it's about the character. You know what I mean? Like you can't just take someone else's like property and then lie to them and be like, oh, it is what it is, and expect me to be okay with it. Nah. But like once they gave it to me, I was like, okay, like cool. And the whole time I was like, I'm glad I took the route of remaining calm and like in control of myself, as opposed to just breaking through the window, opening the door, and being like, "Where's my package?"
Wow.
So I like what I'm hearing. There's a lot of different perspectives, but the outcome is the same. It's anger's a thing, man, and it gets you. It makes you do questionable decisions. You know what I mean? So I want to dial this back to an actionable step. So I'm going to ask you, if you could just give somebody one piece of advice of dealing with anger or conflict, what would it be?
I think it would be try to control your emotions for every type of topic or situation, to basically learn how to be calm in every situation.
Every situation, yeah.
You know, because it's always about how you think before you speak type of the shit.
Yeah.
I feel that you should be able to learn how to be calm in every situation.
Yeah. Calm in the storm, basically.
Yeah.
Correct. And I think when you do that, you're able to really think and get in tuned with the situation to handle it a lot better.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I think that would be something I'm trying to work on myself. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit more difficult, but I think the more practice, the easier it's going to get. You get me? So I think it's going to work out as far as just learning how to be calm in every situation, and then learning how to address it calmly instead of anger and just let it pop off.
Yeah, because if you don't learn that ability, if you don't have that calm in the storm, you kind of, I feel like a lot of parents, they pass it on to their kids, and that's when you kind of, I feel like as a parent, you look at your kids and then you be like, man, well, where did I go wrong? You know what I mean? And you very quickly realize they can't handle pressure, especially now where kids are a little more coddled. I think growing up, we had it. You step one wrong way, you don't clean your room, guarachazo, boom. You got a guarachazo print right here on your cheek.
But did you die?
Yeah. But so I feel like now it's a little bit different, and the new generation just can't handle emotion or pressure.
Yeah.
So if you very quickly teach them, hey, pressure can be your friend. You know what I mean? And pressure can crush you or make you into a diamond. You know what I mean? It's one or the other. You just have to have the raw materials and the correct teachings for that. What about you, Marissa? What do you think you do?
I think that when it comes to anger, an actionable step that somebody could take, remember that you're more than the emotion in the moment. And remember that your negative actions are going to have repercussions. So before you act on your anger, remember those two things and, redirect it in a different way, and then find
A healthy way.
Find coping mechanisms for you that are not going to be harmful to yourself or others.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to sound strange, but when I'm like pissed off, when I'm really fucking mad, the first thing I want to do is wash my car.
Wash your car?
Yeah, wash my car.
Oh, shit.
The first thing I want to do is just wash my car. I'm talking like vacuum the trunk, like do the wheels, detail the wheels, everything. Because it reminds me, and this goes back to my piece of advice, it reminds me that it doesn't matter how bad things get, you can always just fix them. Like you can just
clean it up.
Or clean it up. Yeah. One or the other, right?
Oh, shit. Wow.
Yeah. So that's something that I learned. I didn't pick that up from my mom. Actually, I think I did pick that up from my mom. Now that I'm
Se ponía a limpiar la casa or something, right?
Mad, yeah. When she was mad, she'd clean the house, but she'd do it in a very angry way. But at the end of it, she's having the best day of her life.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Wow, this has caused me to reflect. And I think I realized that I just learned that from my mom, because when she was upset, she would clean it out.
Wow.
It was just weird. Yeah. It's just very strange. So that's what I would do, is find a way, like you said, find a way to deal with it, but have it be a healthy way. Preferably a way that'll just tire you the fuck out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That way, there's no fight left in you.
Yeah.
I think if I had it clean, it just pissed me off more, to be honest.
Really?
I'm like, and I got it clean. Chinga tu madre.
Give me the fabuloso.
Oh my god. Yeah.
The angriest, the cleaner my place is, the angrier I've been that week. I know already. So yeah. If I'm in a relaxed state, I'm okay with leaving my shoes. I'm okay with not doing the bed that morning. But if I am like upset, I just feel like I have to have my shit. Everything else has to be in line. Yeah. Nice. Very interesting topic. So I think this was a pretty productive topic.
Yeah.
I think this was a lot of fun. I liked having you on this episode.
Cool.
How did you feel?
I felt good, man. I mean, this is good. I like it. A little raw and just.
Yeah, man. That's
all I give.
That's how it should be. And I like it because you're transparent. You're transparent in that.
I try to not be, but damn, it's just me, man.
Se te sale.
Yeah, dude.